we women have had to fight for it perhaps, but let there be a time when we will sit here and talk about empowering men.
I just want to add one thing. We are talking about media and performing arts and everything. So one thing that we think about is advertising and how women have been objectified in advertising. But the recent trends, if you look at the billboards, there are men wearing very sexy, if I may use the word, looking horrible, underwear. So they are being objectified as well. That market is probably moving towards the men. So now they require the empowerment.
Thank you, thank you. I think perhaps we'll take a last question. Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Vikash Agarwal. This really is not a question, but I just want to express that, it is ironical that here at this forum, we need to discuss women empowerment issues on a national perspective.
Hey, come on. You're a man, come on. Be a man.
We belong to a culture where women have, in ancient India, enjoyed a status equal to that of men, and we have that on record. And to avoid making any factual errors, I'll just refer to some points which I jotted down before I came here. In the early Vedic period, the status of women was equal to that of men, and Patanjali has written that women in those days were educated. We have references.
We get the point, because from the Vedic to this millennium, it will take a while. It's 1 o'clock. We get the point, but I think, let us...
I'll just complete this, sir. What we need to do now, we've seen that erosion in the last 1,000 years of invasions. We need to actually reformat ourselves, refresh our memories and go back to that time where we can actually...
That may or may not be true, Vikas. It depends upon your perspective of history. Because remember that the father of the Indian Constitution found it imperative to burn the Manusmriti.
Well,
so please, Vikas, we will, you and I can talk about history. It will take me 12 hours to convince you otherwise. Thank you very much. Thank you. I think it's coming up to 1 o'clock. And from Manusmriti to Sushila Birla Girls School, thank you very much for a huge opportunity. And about 100 years from now, a certain gentleman by the name of Charles Dickens wrote these lines: "It was the best of times, it was the worst of times." So let us remind ourselves that we exist in an era of equality, emancipation, information superhighway, but still, as pointed out by each and every one of our panelists today, we have our social responsibilities, our individual responsibilities. The job is cut out for us. And I, the least of persons, will not come between you and the waiting lunch. Thank you very much. Hypoglycemia is a terrible disorder. None of us can risk it. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. May I now invite Ms. Bipra, Secretary General, Vidya Mandir Society, to kindly come up and deliver the vote of thanks.
That was a scintillating performance by all the participants on the dais. And of course, I am so proud of you women. I'm also proud of you, Kunal, for keeping the balance, the delicate balance, so finely tuned up and not letting us stray away and get too hyper about our empowerment. That women need empowerment in our country, it's a foregone conclusion, because apparently the political scenario in our country requires women to be treated in a more sensitive manner. Otherwise, the Nirbhaya incident would have had a far major impact on our social mores than it appears to be having. Women need protection, I agree. Women need empowerment. Women need to be treated sensitively, and women need to have equal opportunity. And I think all the participants here have touched all the core issues. Like Saloni has said, that we must maintain an emotional balance. We must have an idea of what our self is all about, and that needs to be cultivated. If you don't know who you are and what you are bound to be swayed away, and you're bound to be subjugated by people who try to overwhelm you with their own. This is a psychological problem. The ego and the alter ego and the emotions need to be sensitively balanced. So I thank you, Saloni, for the wonderful disposition that you have given. May we have something? Saloni? A small token of appreciation from the school for Saloni Priya. It's all in the mind, you know. Some things may look huge, but they're small. Sujata, thank you for making us aware that our contribution is equally necessary in empowering and bringing up the poorer section of society. Sudeshna, what can I say? Fire alarm. Yes, thank you for igniting all our minds. Chavasri, this is the iron hand in a velvet glove, I felt. Such a sweet delivery of her points made in such a gentle manner, but I think everybody got the gist. She's not a woman that you fool around with. Thank you very much. And Alokananda. What can I say about Alokananda? She's a friend of the school, and as she has very wisely put, it's love that makes the world go round. I think everybody would agree that if we have less egos, less hate, less self-interest, more love, the world would be a better place to live in. A round of applause for all of us. So now you're not only a cardiac surgeon, but you have your heart in the right place, if I may say so. Okay? And I being a diabetic, I'm definitely getting hypoglycemic, so let's move for lunch. Thank you very much, all of you. How could we forget Justice Banerjee, who took such trouble to get here? Despite all odds, she has made it to our first panel discussion on women's empowerment. I'm hoping that she will visit us more often. Thank you very much. Thank you. I think we can all now move towards that.